Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
When integrity speaks louder than fame, Liu Yuning's bold line in the sand. In the Chinese entertainment industry, success is often measured by one thing: position. Who stands first on the cast list? Who appears longest on screen? Who dominates the marketing posters? But in the middle of a tense industry debate, Liu Yuning quietly dropped a sentence that shook far deeper than any publicity stunt. "I would rather give up a leading role than become background decoration." First glance, it sounds simple. But behind those words lies a rare kind of courage, the courage to choose art over ego, and integrity over illusion. And the timing of his statement made it even more powerful. A storm in the industry, when leads become shadows. Recently, actor Chen Xingxu found himself trapped in an uncomfortable position. His new drama Yishi became a hot topic not because of its story, but because of its structure. Although Chen is officially the male lead, many viewers noticed something strange. The supporting characters were more layered, more emotional, and more attractive than the protagonist himself. Scenes felt edited to favor secondary roles. Marketing materials subtly pushed certain characters forward. And suddenly, the lead actor looked replaceable. It wasn't a personal failure. It was a systemic problem. In today's entertainment world, competition no longer stays on screen. It extends into script revisions, editing rooms, publicity strategies, and fan wars. Some productions quietly reshape narratives to push certain actors higher, even if it damages the logic of the story. And that's exactly where Liu Yuning entered the conversation. Liu Yuning's livestream that changed the tone. On January 26, during a casual livestream, Liu Yuning didn't intend to start a storm. But when asked about industry competition, he answered with unusual honesty. He spoke about a phenomenon many insiders avoid: supporting actors deliberately stepping on the lead role to rise. Then he said something sharper. "Wanting to climb higher is normal, but don't make it ugly. You can praise yourself, but don't pull the male lead down and step on him. That's a very dirty way to play. I won't do that." That sentence hit hard. Because Liu himself did not start as a lead. He climbed from street singing, from minor appearances, from OST work, from being underestimated. He understands hunger for recognition better than most. Yet he still refuses to trade dignity for visibility. The most shocking part: he rejected a lead role. What truly surprised fans wasn't his criticism, it was his confession. Liu Yuning revealed that he once flatly rejected a leading role, even though the offer looked perfect on paper. Why? Because the character was empty. In the script, the male lead was designed as a shallow, sarcastic, comic-type nobleman. Meanwhile, the second and third male leads were emotionally rich, fragile, devoted, wounded, deeply psychological. The exact kind of characters audiences fall in love with. Liu analyzed it calmly. The setups of the second and third male leads were too good. Audiences like that type. No matter how well the male lead performs, he can't outperform them. That sentence is brutally realistic. In modern dramas, character design matters more than screen time. If the soul of a role is weak, even the best actor becomes powerless. So instead of chasing the title of number one, Liu chose to walk away. Not because he was afraid, but because he was honest with himself. Why this choice is rare. In the industry, most actors do the opposite. They grab the leading slot first. They worry about billing. They calculate exposure, data, hot searches, and fan battles. But Liu Yuning calculated something different. Backhand index pointing right. Will the audience remember this character? Backhand index pointing right. Does this role carry emotional weight? Backhand index pointing right. Can it grow beyond marketing into memory? He understood something many forget. A bad lead role is more dangerous than a good supporting one. Because when the story collapses, the lead takes the blame. By rejecting shallow setups early, Liu protects not only his image, but his artistic credibility. Not just about Chen Xingxu, but the whole system. Netizens quickly noticed the connection. While Chen Xingxu struggles inside a confusing narrative structure, Liu Yuning already blocks such risks at the script stage. Some fans believe Liu's words weren't attacking anyone, but sympathizing quietly with colleagues caught in poorly designed productions. Instead of mocking, he exposed the mechanism behind the chaos: script manipulation, editing bias, publicity exaggeration. artificially pushed roles. All of them distort storytelling. And when storytelling is distorted, actors become tools instead of artists. Liu's message was simple. Backhand index pointing right, respect the story. Backhand index pointing right, respect your partners. Backhand index pointing right, respect the audience. From street singer to industry voice, Liu Yuning's attitude didn't appear overnight. He came from nothing glamorous. Singing on the streets, live streaming without filters, building a fanbase with pure voice and sincerity. Later he conquered OST charts. Then he entered acting. Then he faced criticism. Then he learned. Unlike many idols born into spotlight, Liu learned survival before luxury. That's why he values substance over decoration. To him, fame is temporary, but character is permanent. That's why his words sound different. They don't feel rehearsed. They feel lived. Why audiences are moved. Fans didn't just praise him for bravery. They praised him for maturity. Because in an industry addicted to noise, Liu chose calm. Because in a market obsessed with ranking, Liu chose storytelling. Because while others fight for position, Liu fights for meaning. He reminds viewers of something forgotten. Being the lead doesn't mean being important. Being memorable does. The hidden power of saying no. The most powerful part of Liu Yuning's story isn't what he accepted. It's what he rejected. He rejected shallow glory. He rejected ugly competition. He rejected stepping on others to stand taller. And in doing so, he quietly drew a line in the sand. I'd rather walk slower than walk wrong. In a world where everyone is rushing upward, Liu Yuning is one of the few asking, where are we actually going? Final thought. Fame fades but integrity stays. Liu Yuning's statement is not just entertainment news. It's a philosophy. It tells young actors, don't worship the spotlight, worship the craft. It tells audiences, don't judge by billing, judge by depth. And it tells the industry, without respect, success is just decoration. In the end, perhaps Liu Yuning's most impressive role isn't any character on screen. It's the role of someone who dares to say, I choose to be real before I choose to be famous. When scripts lie and actors pay the price. In today's Chinese drama market, a strange paradox exists. The posters promise epic romance. The trailers tease destiny and sacrifice. But once the drama airs, audiences realize something is wrong. The lead character feels hollow. The motivation is unclear. The emotional core belongs to someone else. And suddenly, the actor carrying the #1 position becomes the loneliest person in the production. Because when a story fails, the industry rarely blames the script. It blames the face on the poster. That is why Liu Yuning's words cut so sharply. He understands that actors don't only perform characters. They carry the consequences of bad writing, bad editing, and bad intention. A poorly designed role is not just boring. It's dangerous. It turns talent into decoration. It turns effort into misunderstanding. It turns opportunity into a trap. The silent war behind the camera. Most viewers never see what really happens behind the scenes. Before filming begins, there is already a war. Who gets more lines? Who keeps emotional climaxes? Who survives the edit? Who becomes highlighted by marketing? Sometimes supporting characters are intentionally reshaped. Sometimes scenes are redistributed. Sometimes publicity pushes one role while burying another. Not because it serves the story, but because it serves data, fandom, and capital. Liu Yuning knows this reality too well. That's why he didn't just talk about acting. He talked about ethics. He wasn't asking for more screen time. He was asking for fairness. Why stepping on others never lasts. There is a popular belief in the industry. If you don't fight, you disappear. So people fight. They fight for edits. They fight for posters. They fight for hot searches. They fight for attention. But Liu Yuning quietly exposes the flaw in that logic. When you rise by stepping on others, you also rise on unstable ground. Because audiences are not blind. They feel when a character is forced. They sense when emotion is manufactured. They notice when narrative logic collapses. And when that happens, no marketing can save it. Liu's philosophy is simple. Backhand index pointing right if the story doesn't support you. No tactic will. Backhand index pointing right if the character isn't alive. No position will. So instead of competing loudly, he competes silently through quality. From voice to presence, Liu Yuning's evolution. Many people still see Liu Yuning only as an OST king, the voice behind legendary dramas, the singer of Heartbreak and Destiny. But Liu never wanted to stay invisible behind the soundtrack. He wanted to stand inside the story, yet he didn't rush. He learned acting slowly. He accepted criticism calmly. He adjusted his rhythm instead of defending his ego. That's why, unlike many idols who collapse under their first wave of fame, Liu stabilized himself. He didn't ask, "How fast can I rise?" He asked, "How long can I last?" And longevity is built not on hype, but on judgment. The courage of slowness. In an industry addicted to speed, Liu Yuning chooses slowness. Others chase 5 projects a year. Others collect trending roles. Others stack exposure. But Liu filters. He reads setups. He studies character arcs. He evaluates emotional logic. If a role can't move the audience, he lets it go. And this is extremely rare. Because saying no in entertainment is harder than saying yes. Yes brings applause. No brings silence. But Liu accepts silence if it protects meaning. That's why his sentence resonates. I'd rather give up a leading role than become background. It's not arrogance. It's self-respect. What Chen Xingxu's situation teaches everyone. When Chen Xingxu's drama became controversial, people didn't attack his acting. They questioned the structure. They asked, why does the male lead feel weaker than the side characters? Why does the story emotionally belong elsewhere? And suddenly viewers realized, even a capable actor can drown in a bad setup. That's why Liu's timing felt prophetic. While others struggle inside finished productions, Liu blocks disasters before filming begins. He doesn't gamble with his face. He invests in his roles. Why fans trust Liu Yuning more now? After the live stream, comments exploded. Not because Liu was dramatic, but because he was transparent. Fans said, he's not pretending. He's not selling morality. He's protecting the profession. Audiences today are tired. Tired of fake rivalries. Tired of manipulated sympathy. Tired of manufactured heroes. They want authenticity. And Liu Yuning gives them something rare. A star who speaks like a worker. An artist who thinks like an audience member. The hidden question Liu asked the industry. Liu Yuning didn't directly accuse anyone. But between the lines he asked something heavy. Are we making dramas for ranking? Or for remembrance? Because when a drama ends, only 2 things remain. Not hot searches. Not poster positions. Only memory. Only emotion. Only whether the audience felt something real. And Liu is betting his career on that answer. The future Liu Yuning is quietly building. Liu's strategy isn't flashy. He's not trying to dominate headlines. He's trying to build trust. Trust from directors. Trust from writers. Trust from viewers. So that one day when people see his name they won't ask, how famous is he? They'll ask, how meaningful will this role be? And that is the highest level of stardom. Final extension. The star who refused to be hollow. In a world full of loud success, Liu Yuning chooses quiet depth. In an industry addicted to position, he chooses purpose. In a market chasing speed, he chooses longevity. So when he says, I'd rather abandon a lead role than become background decoration, he's really saying something bigger. I'd rather protect the soul of acting than borrow the illusion of fame. And maybe that's why, while others burn bright and disappear, Liu Yuning keeps walking slower, steadier, and stronger.